I have been sitting here editing the video that I'm currently editing. Good morning, Apostate peeps. I feel like I need to talk in a quiet voice because it's about 1 a.m. here. Anyhow, I was editing a video and my thoughts kept like, seriously, my thoughts kept going back to um, earlier this evening, and I feel like I hate having this here, so I feel like I want to cover it. I don't like having to look at my face. It's a distraction because I have to talk to you. Anyhow, so I was working on the video and just kept getting distracted because earlier tonight, all of my kids and their significant others came over for one of their birthdays, and I was thinking about that, and I started getting really emotional and started kind of like connecting some of the pieces, and it's like, well, why do I feel this way? Why do I? And then I realized why I felt that way. Good morning, Jeff Pev. Such a coinky dink, right? Um, what hours are you working? What is your schedule? So, anyways, I started getting very emotional, and I kept thinking I need to share this, and then I want to like, hey, quick, just make a video, just throw something on there, and then caught up in that, and then my left and right brain, like started fighting, and essentially, I was like, yes, I need to share because I know I am not the only person that feels this way or has these kinds of experiences. So, good morning. Not working, not sleeping. Yeah. I've been very much homebound, and it's interesting how differently you utilize your time. It's so different because technically you gain quite a bit of time when you're homebound. Anyhow, I really gotta block this because this is gonna bug me. Can I use that? Can you still see me? Yeah? No. I didn't like having to see the face. Okay. I'm just making a mockery of the whole thing. We had kind of a last minute birthday. For those of you who may currently be Jehovah's Witnesses, birthdays are those things where you just celebrate like, woo, I made it another 12 months. Yeah, it's not apostasy talk. So that's what a birthday is, and people celebrate it. And it's really, really nice. And almost never does anyone get beheaded. So for those of you who are former witnesses, I found myself, because as a lot of you guys know, my youngest moved out, and this is what happened. I just started getting emotional, and I was like, not emotional. I'm not having like mimosas and then getting teary eyed. Emotional. Um, because between that and then with COVID and everything, we're all just limited in how much we are interacting and whatnot. I swear, I, I will, yes, I'm threatening flies. That's how we roll down here. Um, and I'm walking through and I'm looking at, I have 4 kids, and they're range between 20 and 30. Gives me an option to knock off a couple years. and with their significant others, and my son and his wife and my grandson. Well, a couple of things occurred to me. I'm not a Jehovah's Witness, and it's really weird that there's not a lot of people shooting up and fornicating about because this is a worldly household. I like to be sarcastic when I get uncomfortable having to talk about my feelings. It's what they call a defense mechanism. Um, so I almost went into a tangent of jokes right there, but I do really want to stay on point because I really do want to edit this video, but I really also really want to share what what had basically occurred. So I'm walking through my house and it's so beautiful. I mean, just I think parents in general, you always are concerned like the end result of what you did or didn't do. And for me, I find myself not knowing where my place is. So it's like I'll kind of go sit, you know, here. And it's not that I'm uncomfortable. We have a very melched, melched. Um, I'll try to put the definition of that down in the description for those of you who aren't in the know. We're totally making melch happen. See? That's what you got. You guys have to say, hey, don't do that, Cash. You're deflecting. Go back to your story. So, and I look at all of my kids who are adults and who are making their paths and their journeys and everything, and it's so incredibly amazing. But I don't know where. So at one point I sat down, and then this is basically what happened. I sat down and I was just looking around, and I could just feel so much pride and so much incredibly overwhelming. And I remembered that back when I was like, I'm really bad with timelines, let's say 9 to 11. We were at my grandmother's house, who's not a Jehovah's Witness. And she was definitely what I would later learn to know is called a matriarch. Later being, which was like 5 minutes after the intro of the story. And she lived in, at one point we all lived in, but she lived in a single wide trailer, which eventually they added on an addition and made this beautiful yard and a little spa and everything, right? And she's all retired. It's good. So I don't know what the event was. But we were at my grandmother's house, and she was sitting in her chair, like at the farthest wall, and just looking and watching everybody. And you see my uncle, and you see my aunt, and you're seeing this person, that person. And she put her hand on me, and she's like, Cass, do you know what this is? And she person, no, I'm the matriarch. This is all my hard work. And I was like, don't know what it is, but all right. I remember thinking that I was humoring my grandmother because, oh, sorry, I meant to add on. What she had said was, hey, but like in a really loving way that I'm failing to express here. And she was like, someday you are going to be the matriarch. So you're going to have a family, and your children will have children, and I guarantee she probably told that to every single one of us, and she would have been right. Sorry, I can't get distracted. God, it'd be a terrible first date. So anyhow, I remember sitting there, and I was sitting on the floor next to her. She was sitting in her rocking chair, and she said, "This is I don't, she just had a lot of pride about it, and then was communicating. She's like, and then someday this will be yours. And I was like, oof, I don't want these ones, but oh, okay. Um, and I'm so sorry I'm rambling, guys. I really is. This is so random. When I sat next to her, I remember putting my hand up here, and I leaned against her chair, and I felt so sorry for her because I knew that that was not going to occur the way she thought, because I knew that she and all of the other non-Jehovah's Witnesses were going to die. I have told that story so many times, not here, but with my family. And all the time, I always thought that it was like her handing me this, I was 9. Let me live the dream. Handing me the scepter of matriarchy, and I thought it was like this. Oh my gosh, I'm the one. Oh, yay. I don't want to be the one. Well, I did. I was 10. So yeah, about that age group. So what I realized tonight when I was having these thoughts and sitting there was that she was communicating something deeper that I guess I couldn't have understood at that time, and that she was communicating, your garden, right? Um, and let me tell you, by no means did we have any functional farmers in our gardens. But she was proud, and she was loving, and she was loving in her own way, is that what they say? I didn't know her like that. I knew her as my grandmother. I thought she was bomb, because we'll save that for another video. But I now understand, like, like I said, she probably said that to all of her grandkids, and I hope so, because it was her way of just like, I am lack for words. Somebody fill in the blank for me. Anyways, and I remember kind of feeling like I'm like, in a very young age, like I said, pacifying her, like, because I knew it wasn't going to happen. I knew that she was going to die, because she was Catholic, and this would be my mom's mom. And oh man, she was a lady. Not. Anyhow, I knew at a very, very young age that we were not going to grow old. I knew at a very young age that we were not going to have grandkids or kids. And I think that I just get upset because when I really want to rage, that's the only thing I know. I realized that when I came home when I was home, everybody's celebrating, and I came in through the back doors and was just looking around, that I realized I was astonished. Like, I'm not supposed to be here. And that's why I don't know quite where to go. So I was like, no, I'm not supposed to be here. I am grateful for where I am, and I guess what compels me is that what compels me to talk about it is that there are people that are in there. Hello, Kim F. Yeah, Kim. All right, sorry, Jeff. I just missed your comments. Sorry. I just feel like there's people that are in right now that are feeling that way. Like, I might have been just a 10-year-old child, or even now, like, how for all that time do you just know, like, all these people around you, just, and you have to pacify them. You're like, you're gonna die. My mom did associate, I felt like I just pronounced it wrong, so. Kind of, kind of forgot my train of thought. I don't know, it just made me really grateful, and it made me understand, that is very much where there's no Jehovah's Witness teachings that explain what to do when you somehow pass Armageddon and you are getting old and you are having your kids and your kids are having kids. Because in the way that we were raised, this was never supposed to happen. Sorry, guys. Stop apologizing. Oh. Took me 16 and a half minutes to get that out. Aside from everything else that they take from you or the educations they don't allow you to have, there's nowhere in your brain that you even can fathom when you're 15 years old, in my case, that you're gonna, in my case, we weren't even gonna make it past 19 or so. Luckily, some of us are damn good enough to wing it. And I am grateful I have amazing kids. And they're growing amazing families or amazing selves, The more time passes, the further we move away from 1914. Yeah, no, it's 100% true. We're not, exactly. So what Jeff was saying is that we're not supposed to grow old in the system of things. Yeah, so I think that you are not prepared. My kids have a better knowledge of 401ks and any kind of investments than I ever will. We weren't given those kinds of skills because they're not necessary. You don't need a good credit score to build a house. Anyhow, I love you guys. I'm going to stop babbling. I am going to get back to this. I don't even know if I got my point across. Good morning, wherever you are, unless you're somewhere in my time zone, which pays good night, but not for me. I've got a little bit more work to do. Hopefully this video will be posted tomorrow, if not Thursday. I'm working on it. Until then, guys, thank you. Maybe I just needed to download. See you next time.